Now, good morning, good afternoon, sorry, everyone. Uh, Thank you for coming to the last webinar of the series. Uh, this is a webinar that has been organized in conjunction together with us from APIIDA and Now Play, in collaboration with Now Play. And it's a webinar series that we have been organizing as a response to the different questions that we have received during our participation to API Days Paris. My name is Maurizio Garzelli, and I am the principal consultant at APIIDA, a principal consultant. We have a couple of them. And I am today joined by Yasin from NowPlay.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here today.
So, as thank you for joining, Yasin. Can you go to the next slide, please?
Sure.
So, as mentioned, this is a webinar series that has been organized to have the possibility to present the different features of our product, which is the API control plane, which is a pioneer in that section, a pioneer in that. Well, how can you say it's a pioneer um, tool for dealing with federated API management. So if we go to the next slide, today our use case is you've made me aware of a problem I didn't realize I had. So this is about being aware of any issues or possible difficulties with APIs within the enterprise. So because we have looked at the requests from different customers, and we saw that one of the big things about API management is not just the creation of the different APIs as such, per se, and not even the ones of showing them up to the world for everybody to use, but also being able to manage the expectations, both in terms of quality and security. Expectations that come both from within and without the enterprise. So, if you are responsible for your company's APIs landscape, then you will have this kind of issue. And this is where the APIIDA API control plane can come in handy. If we go to the next one, as you can see, this is the last one of our series. If you want a copy of this webinar or the presentation, or even just have a chat as to how this tool can be useful for you, please don't hesitate to get in touch with Peter Mersch at petermersch@apida.com. We had sorry, if you go back, as you can see from the list, we had 3 webinars. Uh, the first 3 ones were in French because we participated at the Happy Days in France, in Paris, and so we took the opportunity to have those webinars also in French, and 3 in English for our non-French speaking audience. So every single one of these webinars is available, will be available as soon as we finish this one, and we will be able to gather all the webinar recordings and publish them. So don't worry, you will be able to see also the past ones. Okay, now we can go to the next one. Thank you. So the solution, what can we say about the solution? The solution, the API, APIIDA API control plane comes in as a SaaS offering, and it enables you to manage through one common window, one common seat, everything that is your API landscape, whether it be sitting on Broadcom, so layer 7, RPG, AWS Gravity, Microsoft, WSO2, Kong, or IBM technologies, gateway technologies. Any of these, whether there is just one or many, meaning you could have Broadcom and RPG or Broadcom and Gravity, some APIs on the layer 7 and some APIs on Gravity and some APIs on WSO2, you would be able to have a common point of view through the control plane. You would just need um, to set up the control plane to visualize the APIs that are on those different platforms. And through that, you will be able to see the catalog. You could see the plan the visibility, so have a governance where you can plan the utilization and visibility of such APIs. Uh, the security that we are going to talk about and quality, and look at analytics so that you know which APIs will be working better than others or worse than others. So it is an omni-channel solution that will enable you to have this common view. If we go to the next one, next slide. So here is a list of capabilities. I mean, I've been sharing also on the other two webinars in English and 3 in French. I have been talking about these capabilities, but this is just a reminder, right? An overview of some of the capabilities, well, of the capabilities. And the first one, first and foremost, is the discovery of the APIs and their specifications. So no matter on which gateway, if that gateway technology is linked to the control plane will be able to discover the APIs that are on that gateway and show you the definitions of such API. You can also change those definitions. You can also tailor those APIs for public consumption or for app consumption, developer consumption. You can, speaking about consumption, you can manage that consumption with the second capability with API keys. So this tool enables you to look at the API keys and the subscription that are for each APIs and manage the subscription, allowing app developers to subscribe to different plans. There is this notion of plans that enables app developers to know what the throughput and the rate limiting could be when their app access a certain API. And speaking of that, there is the analytics part, which enables the customer, whether it is the API owner or the app owner, to understand if that API or that app is being used or not and how much. You can also provision and migrate APIs within the same environment or the same technology, and you can scan APIs for security and quality issues, which is what we are going to look at today in particular. And last but not least, the tool also enables you to create APIs on the platforms, meaning through the standard of API proxy standard, which is a standard we have developed, and we hope that it will become a widely spread standard, which is inherently agnostic to the technology that is underneath, you can define what your API needs to do, what backend it needs to connect to, and what security measures it needs to put in place or transformation. So it is a young standard, so it's under heavy development, and more better versions will come. So going to the next one, meet the API control plane. So now I will leave the mic to the microphone to Yassine, who is going to present us the use case of today in a demo with a real API control plane, right?
Thank you, Maurizio. Hello, everybody. My name is Yassine, and I'm a consultant at NowPlay. Today, I'm excited to introduce you to APIIDA and how it helps you. It helps make you aware of some problems you didn't realize you had. So let's get right onto that. So this is the login page of the admin portal. Let's log in. So this is the welcome page. We'll do a quick tour of the whole admin portal. This is the approval request. You can, from the get-go, see who asked to subscribe to a particular API product. Here you have the pinned environment, and here you have a small list of APIs. Here on the APIs tab, you have a list of the APIs. On the API products, you guessed it, it's a list of the API products you have. Here we have the governance dashboard, but we'll get back to this. Here you have the environment tab. So an environment in the APIIDA sense is the gateway you're attached to. So here we have an AWS gateway, and here we have a Gravity gateway. Then we have the applications tab. So you create an application to subscribe to an API product to use specific APIs. And then we have the configuration tab where you have a lot of informations and ways to control your users, organization, developer portals, and here rule sets, which uh, which we'll talk about in a second. And there we finished the tour of the admin portal. I'm gonna show you now a feature of APIIDA called security score and quality score. So what are those? The security score and quality score are scores made from linking the OpenAPI specification attached to the API. So the security score would be the OpenAPI would be compared against a set of rules here in the rule sets. So we have the APIIDA provide two out of the bat, one from OpenAPI that that decides the quality score, and one from OWASP that decides the security score. So the linting engine, I'm sorry, will analyze the OpenAPI specification against the rules defined by OpenAPI and OWASP, and maybe some custom rule sets that you've put. The goal for this is to create standardized APIs that work and looks well. So let's just see it directly. So here we have a few problems. We'll try to improve the OpenAPI specs. So let's download it. Here we have. So here for the quality, they say. So here the hello endpoint needs a description, and the tag needs a description as well. So we'll get rid of the hello of the error for now. Description from play and vida. And let's get rid of one security error. Here it says we need to use HTTPS and not HTTP. Let's do that. There we go. Then let's upload it. So this is much better. So we got rid of the error for the HTTPS part, for the security score, and we got rid of the error for the quality score here. So let's see, the score is 100% because there is no error. There's a warning, but no errors. And the security improved from, I think, 67 it was percent. Now I'm gonna show you the governance tab. On the governance tab, you have a lot of information to govern, federate all your APIs across all the gateways you're attached to. So here you have the active APIs over time. Here you have the active subscriptions over time. And here you have the average scores of all the APIs over your organization. So the average quality score and the average security score. So you have your security score, security and quality scores per API, and here you have the average to like Maurizio said, to have an omni-channel thing to govern all your APIs. Here we can see the APIs with low scores for security or quality. And here we have the most violated rules. It's good information to know. Here we have zombie and shadow APIs. So, I'm sorry. So we had the webinar about this, but Zombie API is an API that didn't have a subscription the last 90 days. And the shadow APIs are APIs that do not have an open API specification. So these are information that are very good to know because Zombie APIs could be a gateway to hackers, to losing money. So you can either get rid of the API or maybe call your marketing team to maybe put it more in front. And the shadow APIs, everybody knows an API needs an open API specification. I don't need to elaborate on this. And here we have the number of API and API product subscriptions, and here we have the number of application subscription. So APIIDA made you realize could have made you realize of many problems your organization has, from the quality score, from the security score, from the zombie and shadow APIs. So use APIIDA. So now this is the end of our demo. I'll give the mic to Maurizio to answer any question you have. or to me too. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the presentation, Yasin.
Thank you.
Indeed, the Q&A is open for anybody who has any questions regarding this last part of the webinar. And let's wait. I think in the last webinars there were more questions, but that's just because I guess this part was quite interesting for people in general. And let's see if anybody has any other question. Yes, there is a question about is this applying to all the gateways? Yes, it is. So it is something that is applied to all the gateways, the security scores and the quality scores. It's gateway agnostic, so it doesn't care about the gateway itself. Also, because it's worth mentioning that these rules they do not actually go and look at the logic. So, of course, the logic, uh, this is more to do with the way that the um, documentation is set up, the Open API spec for that API is. So whether it is on uh, whatever on any gateway, when you go and publish it, you will be putting an Open API spec against that API that describes the security and the quality uh, side of that API, and the rules that we are looking at actually talk about that particular description. So it actually relies on that particular description. There are a couple of other questions I can see from the chat. Uh, can API products have APIs from multiple gateways? This is a very good question.
It's a question we have every day.
Yes, indeed. And well, the simple question is unfortunately no. API products, which is a way of grouping APIs that do similar things, or they are under the same umbrella, project umbrella, let's say, they can only belong to the same environments, the same gateway type. So if you have 3 or 4 gravity gateways, and these 3 or 4 gravity gateways have different APIs, yes, you can put them all under the same API product. But if then you want to add one that, let's say, comes from Kong or from layer 7, unfortunately, you cannot put that in that same API product. Yeah. So another question I see sorry, you wanted to add something about that?
No,
Yeah.
no, no, no. I was just gonna say to Arnaud, it would be
A good idea.
feature,
Yes.
great feature to have cross gateways API products.
Yes, yes. Somebody might ask, why is it not possible? Isn't it like grouping? Well, yes and no, because you have to consider that API product goes a little bit further than just a simple tag that says, oh, this belongs to the same project or to the same functionality, but it's more about implementing rules regarding plans, API plans. So, and every technology deals with that in its own way.
Yeah.
So that's why. But yes, it would be great to have that possibility. Another question I see about customization. Can we change the look and feel? Yes, every side of the portal can be changed to fit your requirement, meaning, you know, APIs can have their own description, You can change the name, the icon, you can add some documentation to it. There is I believe our first webinar showed, or at least was touching on that.
Yeah, yeah, it was the
And
first.
exactly, so that can be done. So, and you can change the icon of the API groups, the API products, and so on. So, looking at the time, we have gotten to the end of it, unfortunately, because I was having fun explaining things and answering the questions. Well, thank you everyone for being part of this webinar, for taking part of this webinar. I hope that we have answered most of the questions, or at least the main questions, and that you will see this tool as being useful for your API landscape. Thank you so much, Yassine, for doing the demo and explaining
Thank you,
so
Mauricio, for
eloquently.
presenting. Thank you, everybody, who attended.
And it remains only to wish everybody a very good afternoon and rest of the week.
Thank you. Have a great
Thank
day.
you. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.